Most of you are probably aware that Lookout Point Reservoir was drawn down 70 feet below its normal winter pool this past fall in an effort to pass juvenile spring Chinook smolts through the lake. Here you can see the different pool levels on Lookout. The lake has not been below the minimum power pool level in 70 years since it was filled. Probably the worst side effect of the deep drawdown was the amount of turbidity stirred up. Here you can see on a satellite image what the worst of that turbidity looked like. Way beyond fishable, down to like an inch visibility. Now finally, about a week before I went, things are finally clearing up. Time to go take a boat out on Lookout. So first, just on the way, we'll take a look at how things at Dexter are looking. Looks like pretty normal winter conditions to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're out here at Lookout Point Dam. Back to pretty much the normal winter pool level. There seems to be an array of new sensors out here, hopefully to track smolt and other fish movements. Very nice out on the lake today. Almost get a very clear view of Diamond Peak. And just took a Secchi disc reading here. Visibility 6 feet, which is pretty close to normal for this time of year. I'm hoping it's going to be a lot clearer where the middle fork is flowing in. And there should be fish up there. I haven't confirmed any fish on the sonar yet. Per usual, the various tables and the water quality by the dam caused some fake fish to show up on the sonar. Luckily, I know that now. I wonder how many other people have lost gear on those cables, being sure they were a school of fish. As we headed back up the lake across the Goodman, it became clear that the turbidity on this satellite image was not just a temporary artifact of the direction of flow of the sediment being washed out of the lake, but quite a large landslide in that area that had propagated up from the base of the valley when it was drained up to above the minimum pool level. Sorry, this clip did not come out at all. However, you can see how turbid the water was there. Next, we headed up to what I call the Delta, where the Middle Fork meets Lookout Point at Winter Pool. This is one benefit I'm hoping of this drawdown is that the channel there is going to be much deeper and easier to navigate. Now the river's cut through what's been deposited for 70 years at that Delta location. So we're up here anchored at the first rapid, or the Middle Fork meets Lookout. See the bottom depending on the angle. Of course, I got my lure stuck or anchored. Maybe try one more spot down a little bit, but there's certainly a long stretch of deep channel up here now. It's hard to find the channel once you're in it. It's a nice spot up here. Definitely a lot of extra erosion edges. No fish so far in channel above Goodman. Quite the sediment deposit island. A lot of stuff grown on it for how low it is. I don't think it normally has that. Quite the erosion here. That erosion there to the channel. As we headed back from the delta to Signal Point, I started to feel that our worst fears could be true, that the fish are gone from lookout after the deep drawdown. Just not seeing anything, hoping anything on that sonar that could be a fish. Finally, I was about to trailer the boat at the ramp. I started seeing all kinds of arches in that little bay next to the ramp. So some fish did survive. Looking from shore at Signal Point, visibility is around 10 feet. There were two murky areas, the landslide and right below the confluence of the Middle Fork, and the river above there was clear again. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous sunset over Signal Point. So glassy out there. So it was certainly feeling like the worst fears were confirmed after going around the lake and in the river, not seeing a single fish. Then on the way to the ramp, found a bunch of stuff on the bottom in this cove. Honestly, I feel like this cove is one of the most consistent places I find fish in this lake. Never can really get them to bite though. Yeah, so I think some things did survive. I think this is a hard lake to find or catch fish in. So it could have been that I was just looking in the wrong places. I'll probably be hitting Dexter next. Hopefully some other people will provide some reports than here. Yeah, I don't think this was ever an easy place to fish in the winter anyway. But hopefully some stuff did survive, and hopefully some other people will share some reports.